Hey there! Today's video is a very special one. Follow me on the journey of creating a piece of rainforest for my home and get inspired to make one of your own. First of all, I'm preparing an old aquarium that I no longer use. The secret of terrariums is to create a false bottom in order to drain all excess water. That's why we are cutting some net here to create a separation layer later. And using small white rocks. You can use any type of pebbles and rocks, and even some use sand, but the finer the material, the more difficult it is for the water to evaporate back. After that, I'm adding a small layer of carbon. Some may say that carbon helps with the filtration, but I don't really know if this actually works or not. But anyway, it kind of looks good having that carbon layer. The substrate you use is really important, and you must choose what fits the type of your plants the best. Now, before adding the substrate, I will be placing the small net that we cut earlier to create an even greater separation between the bottom and the soil. This way, when we are watering the plants, the soil won't go down to the pebbles and mix everything up. So actually, I'm a fern lover, so I will be using again some ferns for this project. Now I'm going to tell you each and every plant I add. This one, first one, is a Chamaedorea elegans Variegata Variegated parlour. It will thrive best in mid to bright and direct light. The substrate should be kept moist at all times, but it should never be soggy or sit in water. So I believe that this plant makes a wonderful selection for open terrariums, or maybe even closed ones. I haven't tried it in a closed terrarium yet, but for open terrariums it's a success. Pteris cretica albolineata, also known as Variegated Cretan Brake Fern. So all these plants have similar needs to the Chamaedorea elegans. They need water, moist soil, and light, enough light, or else they will lose their patterns. This one was the Evergemiensis Pteris ensiformis with the common name Variegated Brake Fern. This pteris is excellent at showing us what art looks like. The next one was a Pteris cretica mayii or reborn fern. And now we have the maiden fern, or else known as adiantum caudatum. This one is one of my favorites. To be honest, this is the type of fern that I bought as my first houseplant. Unfortunately, it didn't live long because I didn't know how to take care of ferns back then. Here we have the plant that everyone loves but most of the time fails. Asparagus Fern, which is actually not a fern but acts similarly. For years, I didn't know what I was doing wrong with my asparagus until I started making terrariums. The whole magic is hiding behind the humidity. Make sure to always have moist soil. Keep your plant away from direct light, but always provide a lot of it. Actually, in my home I use artificial LED lights for mine and they are thriving. Now about the assembling, the first step is to create your landscape using rocks or even wood. Try different positions for your elements till you are satisfied. As I'm fighting against my perfectionism, I try to follow whatever comes to my mind first. In the absence of perfection, we find nature. Have you ever wondered why we love nature so much even though it is not perfect? Nature just happens. After a lot of studying, I finally feel free away from the productivity movement and the structuring of life. Mix your plants to create a natural scene. I want mine to resemble a Brazilian rainforest. Tell me in the comments if my result really gives these vibes. The biggest tip to give you here is to always match things and people with similar needs in life. Don't put a succulent, for example a string of hearts, below thirsty plants like ferns, because it will end up rotting. Sure, there are ways to manage this, but it is not a topic to discuss in this video. Dividing your plants and separating them and putting them into different positions is a really great way to create a natural scene, because when you are going to the forest, you won't see just one type of a plant in just one place. You need variety all around you, so that is what we are going after in this project. Also, I'm putting some small dead branches to create a more wild vibe. After putting the plants on their final position, I'm adding some soil in order to secure them and cover all the roots that might be out and make it look more full. Since we are having some free time now after all the explaining, I wanted to share with you actually something that makes me feel anxious, and it is the voiceover. I'm not used to doing this, but I really want to have a connection between the community that we will be building. The last step, of course, is to clean again the glass, to take away any soil and water that's disturbing our view. So this is a top capture of the final result. And here we are missing the Brazilian rainforest. So Jay was my hardest critic, but he approved. Jay sends you all his love. Thank you for sharing your time with us. See you in the next video.